Good morning, everybody. This is Daniel with Peace and Plenty Farms. I'm out here picking up sticks in the, I call this the pasture area that we had cleared. So I'm just pulling this little cart around today. It's going to be raining, some kind of a storm coming up the coast, so we're going to get it picked up because I'm sure that these there'll be more sticks down. I'm right out here by 95. You can hear 95 going by right there. A lot of people ask me when they come out to the property, they say, how do you put up with 95 right there? Well, I tell you the truth, I would much rather have something like 95 that you can get used to the monotone sound. You know, it's just a continual, actually when there's an accident and traffic stops out there, that's when I notice it. But being in the country, one of the biggest problems I've found is neighbors. I see it on the Homestead all the time. I see it on Facebook. Problems with the neighbors. I'm having problems with my neighbors. They're doing this, they're doing that. They're invading my space. I don't have any neighbors. I've got 95. And then on the other side of me is a couple 1,000-acre tree farm. And we live, you know, at the end of this cul-de-sac here. So for me, I would take the noise any day over dogs and the hassles and the problems of neighbors. I've lived up against real close to neighbors, and I've lived on 20 acres, or all these different situations. And the number one problem homesteading is neighbors. They're nosy, they're loud, they're in your business. Their dogs are chasing your rabbits. You can't let this out or that out. I've got rabbits out. I've got free-range chickens everywhere, and I can do that because I don't have any neighbors. And a lot of people, in order to have that situation, they've got to be way out in the middle of some harsh environment. But here we are. I can be in DC in less than an hour, and I can be in Richmond in less than an hour. So I feel like I've got the best of all the worlds, and putting up with the noise of 95 doesn't bother me a bit. Well, this is Monday morning. I'm starting to pick up sticks already out here. I got a little bit going, and all of our cars need inspecting. So we're going to be running the cars through the inspection this week. This is just an opening video. I don't know what we're going to do this week. If we can come up with some good content, we'll see how it goes. So come grow with us. Let's see what we can come up with today. Thank you for watching. Okay, this is Daniel. I'm on my second shirt today. I was out picking up sticks in the pasture so we can keep it mowed. It was always on my list to pick up those sticks before the grass got too tall, and that was a year ago. So needless to say, the grass had gotten really tall. So we've got one of the vehicles the inspection is done, and Ingrid is dropping off the second vehicle. And then I'm going to fix the seat belt in the Toyota, and when they're done with the Explorer, I will switch it out and get that one inspected. But I was looking at Facebook earlier, and there was an interesting comment about what is the best. Oh, excuse me. What is the best scenario as far as, you know, whether to stack or precious metals, or whether to, I'll get used to this new Osmos pretty soon, whether to stack metals or to prep by, you know, building a farm and doing that type of thing. And I always wondered myself, when I was doing it, I was really discouraged at times because it was so expensive and I was making mistakes. It was costing me money. Being debt-free, being self-sufficient, it is expensive, and there's a learning curve. So try to watch as many videos as you can to learn as much as you can to avoid the pitfalls. That's the whole reason why I started this YouTube channel, was to help people learn the mistakes that I've made and avoid them, and maybe they could pick up right where I'm at now with my experiences. That's how come when I start the videos out, I say, hey, come grow with us, you know, because I'm learning, you're learning, let's admit it, we're all learning. And at the end of the videos, I say it's about the harvest. So, you know, there again, you know, it's There's a very serious spiritual side, Christian side to me, and I want to encourage everybody to have their eternal life in order also. But it was interesting seeing people talk about and discuss whether or not you should have a garden or spend money on a farm. And each person is different. Each situation is different. But now, looking back, yes, it was very expensive. Yes, the cost was very high. But now things aren't even available. So if you had gold and silver and you had it stacked up, you would find that even with all tons of money, lumber right now, pressure treated lumber is very difficult to get. And you can see in this barn all of the floor joists that I put in, all these floor joists, even the studs. I use pressure treated lumber on everything. If I build anything out here in the open that's going to be open to the environments, it's going to be pressure treated. One of the reasons is because of the bees that bore into the regular pine. And you get a greater tensile strength with pressure treated lumber than you do with just regular pine. So in other words, the load, the span, all of those types of things are higher on pressure treated lumber. But I don't want to get off my point. I remember, I want to back up and tell you about my granddad. He was, I think, 97 when he passed away. And it's been a few years ago, quite a few years. And one of the questions that I knew he had lived through the Great Depression. So I wanted to ask him, I wanted to talk to him, I wanted to say, hey, what was it? Was it silver? Was it gold? Was it 90%? Was it bars? What should we be, stacking? What's the preferred stacking metal that we should have? And he said, neither. And that struck me. I was like, neither? He said, it's food. He said, you've got to be able to do your own garden, can your own vegetables, and take care of yourself. Nobody's going to take care of you. And there's probably not a price high enough to pay for food when there isn't any. And there's a lot of people, I don't go to Walmart very often, but I went the other day for something real quick, and just seeing all those people and all those shopping carts full of food and thinking, what if this wasn't here? What if there was for example, an EMP or just any type of collapse in the dollar, or we almost, had a total collapse globally with this cough. So that's an example of what could happen. I mean, we came really, really close several times. We've come really close with different types of situations, whether it's hurricanes or flooding or snow or whatever. It's good to be prepared. So just a little bit of a thought about, yes, it is expensive. I may not have nearly the stack that everybody else does as far as gold and silver, but I've got something I feel like it could be elusive one day. Pressure treated lumber. I went into Lowe's the other day just to pick up a few little pieces of wood for something I was doing. As I was walking in, I saw almost like a frantic scene in the lumber section. And I asked the guy, I noticed there was no lumber on the shelves at all, no pressure treated lumber on the shelves at all. And so I asked the Lowe's guy, I said, what in the world is going on? All these people standing around with carts half full of lumber and no lumber on the racks. And he said, there's a truck out there and we're unloading it. And as the forklift comes in through the door, these people were grabbing it practically right off of the forklift and putting it on their cart, 6, 7, 8 people hanging around, grabbing lumber and heading out with it. So they were trying to do projects around the farm, and they didn't care what it cost. They just wanted that lumber. Same with auto parts. There's certain auto parts that are just really hard to get right now. And, even if you've got silver and gold, will you be able to take care of yourself? So just a thought for right now. I'm going to get the seat belts fixed real quick on the Toyota. The SRS light is coming on. Maybe the computer or something like that. They said that they can test it and tell us what it is, so I'm just going to let them test it. But I do have to have the seat belt and the lights and the horns and the wipers, all that kind of stuff working for the inspection. So let me get it tuned up. She's dropped off the Explorer. I'll probably pick up the Explorer when it's ready and drop off the Toyota. And I've got chainsaws that need fixing. I'm gonna turn the camera around here first and see it. Over here I've got this, I'm gonna learn how to do this Osmos yet. Okay, so here's my workbench. It's a disaster, so I'm gonna get this cleaned up. But I stopped in and picked up some Oregon bars and chains. I'm going to tune up and check out all the chainsaws with all these branches falling, and there's actually a storm headed our way, so it'll be good to have those tuned up and ready to go. There's the Toyota. I'm going to get the seatbelt done on that, and I'm going to get this red truck moved out of the yard here. I actually backed into it and scratched the truck the other day, so let's get that out of here, put some automatic transmission fluid in it, a battery, and just get it out of my way. Thank you for watching. Let's keep on going today and see what we run into. Let's do a little progress report on the goats. They're fairly new to Peace and Plenty Farms here, but this is Sophie, and this is Sophie right here, and that's Moon Pie. And it looks like Sophie is pregnant, so we'll see here shortly. But I had gotten one of those calf hutches. You can see it right there. I had gotten that one, but Sophie won't share, so I ran over and got another one for right there for Moon Pie. He loves the company, but she's not as friendly as you would think. She doesn't like to share the food either. She thinks it's all for her. So what we do is we've got two buckets, one on either side of the water here, and we have to pour them both at the same time so that they're each got their fair share. So the Morans, which, let me spin around here and show you. Well, the Moran just ducked in behind the, there they are. Okay. Here we go. They're taking off running. But the Morans, that's one hen and one rooster, black Morans right there. And they really like being around the goats, and the goats like having them around. Now the red sex-link chicken hens, the free-range ones, they don't seem to get along with the goats, and the Silkies definitely don't get along with the goats. But the Morans, both the copper Morans and the black Morans, they seem to enjoy being here with the goats. Now what I did is, since I was going to put them together and I wanted them to get along, what I did is I put this old dog kennel up here and put a cover over it for them. But what I wanted to show you is this tunnel that I built right here. This little tunnel, it gives the chickens access to here, but the goats can't climb through it. Moon Pie is small enough, he could actually climb through the hole that I had made in the fence. So I put this tunnel in, and I plan to over here put a small tunnel in right here. It's going to be for the rabbits, and there'll be a small rabbit cage just inside the dog kennel, the old dog kennel right there. And then above it, I'll put some kind of a coop for the chickens. And that'll give me, you know, just a colony. That's the word I'm trying to think of. A little colony out here with the rabbits. And now on the fencing for the rabbits, when I go to do that, I'm going to have to, I've got this wire, this chicken wire, and you can see there's two layers. This one right here, it goes down and goes out. That's to keep the predators from digging in. Moon Pie just turned off the recording. He likes to eat everything. What I'm going to say real quick here is I'm going to put the same 12-inch, 16-inch type chicken wire right out here on the ground, and that'll keep the rabbits from digging and getting out. Now they may dig here and you know, create some holes, but just have to keep an eye on them and keep them inside this area. All right, let's see what else we can get into today. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you all watching.